What's going on, guys? I'm back with a brand new series review for you guys, and I just watched Loki Season 2, starring, of course, Tom Hiddleston, Sophia Di Martino, long but not hard, scratch that, and Owen Wilson. First of all, since this whole series, since season 1, which I'm not remembering if I did a review of that or not, but oh well. This has been known as Loki's redemption arc, obviously. Okay, it did a good little job on season 1, and we're trying to find out if it did a good job on season 2. But that's what it is. That's what it's known for, is a redemption arc, pretty much. And because of that, I have to now go back and think about the best redemption arcs in TV and movies. All right. And my first one that comes to mind, Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. Yes, when Vegeta first came to the scene, he was this arrogant, hairlined, afflicted, weird-haired dude with this little lackey, his flunky, Nappa, right? And he walked around and they were murdering from planet to planet. They were just annihilating people from planet to planet. This guy was a terrible dude. He was a terrible dude. Cocky. Too cocky, by the way. Too cocky, by the way. All right. And by the time he got to Earth, where Goku and all them people were, they showed out. They showed out. You know, he kept making Nappa do some of the hard work while he just sit in the back. And then he showed why he really was the one running things. Okay. After a while, after the little battle, they let Vegeta live. And then further on down the line, Vegeta started becoming somewhat cool with the Z Fighters. But in his difference from the other, villains who started helping out the Z Fighters situation, he was just the most stubborn one. He was the most stubborn one that you really couldn't see a change coming with him. All right. It's almost on the same level as somebody like Frieza, who's never gonna change. Never gonna change. And that's for the better. That's for the better. Trust me. But with Vegeta, I think he still struggles with the good Vegeta and the bad Vegeta from time to time. He still does, because he's still always gonna be Vegeta, no matter what, life path he chooses. All right. That's why he's number 1. Number 2, Magneto, the one who played in the X-Men movies, the young one, and Magneto in the comics. Yes, if you're only the moviegoer, then you've seen him in what was it, First Class, and he kind of slowly was looking like it was gonna be okay. But if you've read comics, you know what's gonna happen. And by the end of that, he chose what he chose. All right, so as those movies progress, he's going through his whole villain thing and all this, and Mystique becomes his number 1 chick and all that, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But then after a while, he starts to kind of side with old Xavier again. All right, and it slowly calms down, and he has his different views and whatnot and blah blah. But at the same time, he's still a good dude at heart. He's just been through a lot. Okay. And that's also in the comic books too. It's also very obvious in the comic books, because after a while, for some reason, you go read the comics, Xavier is bleeped. He's disappeared, okay, for a lifetime. And after that happens, Magneto has to pretty much take care of the team. He's the new leader of X-Men for a minute. I think he still is, kind of. I'm not sure. Haven't got caught up with the new issues of X-Men recently. I'm not really interested in those. I'm really disappointed in those new issues. But anyways, Yeah, see, he started to become the leader of the group. So it just shows you how much development in his character happened within those years and that time. And number 3, we have Damon from Vampire Diaries. Yes, I used to watch Vampire Diaries back in the day. Sue me. Okay, sue me. But it was actually a good show when WB was worried about having good shows. I don't even know if WB even exists anymore. Does it? Is it CW now? Is the CW even exist? But anyways, yes, Damon started off the bad boy, the murderous vampire of the team, where Stefan was the good guy, the mysterious good guy at first. And then the position started to change. All right, because Damon started to show that he had more of a heart to him, and there was more of a human side to him. While at the same time, Stefan was kind of being revealed as to why he was always mysterious this whole time, because Stefan really had an evil side. It just had to be brought out. And so that immediately made Damon the good one fast. That was just a crazy character arc. And I still liked it. I like that. All right. Number 4. Jaime Lannister from Game of Thrones. Of course, I had to throw that one in there. That guy was so hated in the beginning. I hated his character. Just arrogant and condescending and just a cruel person. Not a good person to be a friend with. He only cared about his sister. And you know, that's blood, but he cared about her a little too much. A little too much. But further down the line, that they're going through some things, which a lot of these villains have to do to see the error of their ways, losing a hand and whatnot, he starts to kind of calm down a little bit and see the other side of things and what he might have been doing wrong. All right, and start to feel sorry for the things he's done. He still had a love for his brother, which throughout the whole thing never changed ever, which is cool. But still, just to see him change into that kind of person before they ruined it in season 8, it was a good little journey to go on with him as Jaime Lannister. All right. Number 5, Eric Northman from True Blood. Yeah, it took a minute. It took a minute for Eric Northman to see the error of his ways. And honestly, he only saw it through love, through his obsession with Sookie. Sookie was just the cornerstone, the centerpiece of everything in that show, right? Sookie. Everybody loves Sookie. And the reason that he loved her or was infatuated with her is one of the main reasons his character kind of tried to show a good side. And that's the only reason, but it brought out the best of them. It brought out the best. He was still an interesting character, regardless. Down the line, he never strayed from being one of the most interesting characters on that show. I'll put it like that. All right. Last but not least, Kanan Stark from Power. Yes, you never thought I was going to put that one in there, right? Yes, Kanan Stark. And it really took a long time to ease up to Kanan's character, because he's just evil from the gate. He's all for revenge. He thinks he's been done. He's been stabbed in the back when he really wasn't that great of a person himself the entire time. Okay, it took a minute. He got into a fight with the main characters over and over again. We thought he was dead for a minute. He was not dead. All right. Turns out all this was going on, and then he started to kind of be the guide, the guardian for Ghost's son for a while. And I think by seeing this as a start over for the son he could have had, or he wanted sickly, if you know what happened to his other son, just watch the show. And he just kind of ran with it. And then his son started to grow on him like that was his actual son. And so the courageous thing he did in the end, I condemn him for that. I condemn him. You know what I mean. I honor him for that, okay? I honor him for what he did in the end. That showed a lot of growth in his character. It was just sad that it had to end like that, okay? And now we have Loki in Loki Season 2. And my question is, will this show more or a better progress of Loki's redemption arc than these other ones I just mentioned? Or is it in Season 1? We're about to find out. Let's go. Loki Season 2, for those who don't know, for those who are not aware, if you don't know about the Loki Season 2, if you don't know, then you're just in another dimension right now. You're having issues. You're bleeping in and out. You're right. You're having your own issues. You're worried about this whole machine that ties everything together right now. You got a lot of things going on for yourself. All right, because everybody should know about this. Even if you don't like Marvel like that, you know about Season 2. Okay, trust me. Don't play me. Don't play me. Loki Season 2. Pretty much coming out behind Season 1. Obviously. Loki, they seem that like they've solved the problem by getting rid of He Who Remains once and for all, only to find out He Who Remains was telling the truth the whole time. You'll see me again. They wake back up and all of a sudden He Who Remains is running everything around there. They're in a whole other world now. Okay. And so while that's going on, Loki's just having this whole problem with going in and out of reality, back and forth through time. He just keeps blipping in and out, and he can't control it. So there's that going on. Also having to recourse everybody he bumps into about who he is again, and finding Sylvie, finding the other guy, Mobius, or just trying to remind Mobius of what was going on before all this went down. Okay, and he's having trouble doing all this. And while this is going on, the little machine that I forgot what the name of that machine was, it'll come up on the screen, trust me, it's starting to have some problems. It's starting to have some problems that they need to fix really quick. All right. And so when they get down to the dust of it, they got to get to that machine and get it going again before they turn into the spaghetti type of texture or whatever they turn into when they die if they don't hurry up and get to the machine in time. All right. They have to go through all of this. In the meanwhile, Loki just has to find out what his main purpose is in life. Why is he even exist? What is going on with it? What is Loki built to do? All right. And that's pretty much the whole plot for Season 2. All right. Positives. Loki's redemption arc is incredible. Okay. I think I want to just give most of the props to the actor himself, Tom Hiddleston. He is so believable as a person who went from this to that. Okay. He's no longer this conniving Loki you can't trust. You don't know what he's going to do next. And everything he does is for a evil reason or his selfish reason. And he's always trying to make it seem like it's not. He's no longer that person. He obviously is no longer that person. And it shows. It shows in every scene he does. And that's how good of an actor that Tom Hiddleston is, as to where you can see the change. You can see the change. Even though I had some doubts, and but we'll get into that a little later. But for the most part, yeah, he just was so good at showing how far Loki has gotten as a person, as a human being. And you can see that within Season 2 easily. All right. I enjoyed that very much. Okay. Another positive. Timely, which is, I think, one of the He Who Remains variants, not the Kang variant. Confusing, but yeah, that was explained a little while ago for me. He was the variant with heart. And I respected that, man. There was a scene where Sylvie was about to put those hands on him. I'm not going to say too much of what she really was going to do. Those hands on him. And he's like, maybe I'm not the one that you think I am. I'm not the guy. And that little speech right there it really got a lot of people. It got me for a minute. Even though I know there's always this little trickery that goes on with the villains and characters that you're not really sure about. So you don't know. You really don't know, even though he says stuff like that. But just the way he delivered those lines, it really made you think, man, maybe he's not like the other variants. Maybe he's not like them. Or maybe he's playing a good game. But I really thought, yeah, he's not like those others, man. He's the one who's actually got a heart, who's actually got a soul, okay? Who's not just looking out for domination. Very much, man. I liked Timely for that reason. For that apparent reason, I like Timely's character. Okay? It was different. A different kind of He Who Remains than we usually get. Kudos. Another positive. Miss Minutes is definitely not who we think she is. All right. I'm not going to say too much. I'm not sure how many people have not seen this show already or season 2. If you haven't, come on, what are you doing? Miss Minutes is more than that happy speed talk she does all the time and blah, 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 and running her mouth and just breaking down the rules and regulations and blah, 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 and the history and all that. She's more than that. There's some human to it. There's some human to it. I'm not sure if it's shown in this show, like all the way, or it's ever going to be shown, but you can just tell there's something there in Miss Minutes more than what we thought in the first season. All right. And I really wish they would have shown a little more of what that could have been, but they didn't. I'm not going to get too much into that, but you know, just know there's a lot more to Miss Minutes, man. And she has a thing for Wisely. She has a thing for who remains. She does. So I think she wishes she was human. She definitely wishes she was human. And you got that through her dialogue and just the total jealousy she had over him, you know, conversating with Renslayer in the show. So I was like, oh, she might not just be a you know, inanimate thing there, you know. So can we find that out? Anyways, last positive. Loki's fate. Of course, I'm not going to reveal what his fate is for people who do not know. You should know by now, but if you don't know, I'm not going to spoil it. I swear I'm not going to spoil that. Let's just say it really is going to tie a lot of knots up. It's going to tie a lot of things up, okay? That we're wondering how are they going to conclude. How are they going to conclude this? And it really perfectly ties all that up. All right. I cannot say a lot about that, but it's amazing. I didn't see it coming. I had a whole other theory, which I will mention later on. But for the most part, it's still a decent way to go. So it's still a decent way to end out this series. Okay. This whole show, Loki, let's just say he deserves this fate. He deserves this fate, man. For the person he became, he deserves the fate. Trust me. Negatives. This had a lot of unneeded humor, especially between Loki and Mobius. Like they were supposed to be Laurel and Hardy or something like that. I don't know what they were supposed to be, like the new comedy duo. It was stupid. And I could see if the jokes were actually funny. They were not funny. The jokes were not funny. Okay, stop. Marvel, you have to stop this. Okay, it's not working for you. Either you stop and just kind of make these tones a little more serious, or you get new comedy writers, at least. Get somebody who actually is a funny person. All right? Try doing that. Try doing that. If you can't make us laugh genuinely. There was forcing jokes in there. I didn't need the back and forth between Loki and Mobius. It was getting annoying and irritating. Really was getting irritating. I was like, please, if you keep doing this, I don't know what I'm going to think about the show. You need to stop. You're forcing it. All right. Loki is just not that guy to me, it's just how it's cracking up all the time. He's not. Maybe Owen Wilson a little more because of who he already is. But you know what? Leave that to Owen Wilson and give him some better jokes, please. Jesus. Another negative. Loki's illusion powers were still underwhelming. They've always been underwhelming. He's never gotten to his true potential as far as his powers go. If you read the comics, that's all he was about. That's how he really got Thor. He really put Thor in a tumble there. All right, in the comics, that was the way that Thor had to deal with him all the time. Figure out what was not Loki's illusion and what was his illusion. That it was on a higher scale than it is in the show or the movies. I don't know why they downrated him like that for the movies and the show. He can do a whole lot more with his illusion powers to a point that it could really cause some damage. Why did they never just iterate that into the show? At least you are making Loki look like a chump doing this. There are other characters within this whole situation that can do better illusion tricks than he can. By this looking at this, that you're insulting Loki at this point. Actually, read the comics, which I'm sure you just skim through, and see what Loki can do. All right, see what Loki is capable of, and then get back to the drawing board of what you need Loki to be doing for him to be even a bigger threat to the Avengers or whoever he's against or whatever. I mean, he's not that guy anymore. I understand, but just no, you're not doing Loki any service by making his powers that weak. Okay. Last negative. This didn't end like I imagined it would end. And I mentioned that a little earlier, right? Yeah, the way it ended, that's cool and all, and I respect that. I respect it, but I had a whole nother idea rolling in my head. Okay, and since this is not spoiling anything because I'm not telling you how it ended, this is how I thought it might end. Okay, I thought that, and if you think this is still a spoiler alert. Okay, spoiler alert. Just skip to what my rating is actually going to be overall. Okay, spoiler alert. You ready? Now here we go. I thought that Loki was playing a game the entire time. I really thought he was playing a game the entire time, and he was so good at it that we just forgot that he was Loki. Remember I mentioned earlier about how good the actor is. I thought that was the reason that he was portraying this so well, to the point where he really has changed. And then in the end, the whole time he just wanted to be the ruler of time. He wanted that position because he always wanted to be the ruler of something. And so he wanted Kang's position, he who remains spot, this entire time. And I thought that was going to happen. I thought we were going to get that. And I would have loved that. But we did not get that. Okay, unfortunately. Spoiler alert over. All right. And because of that, I'm giving this a hell yes. Yeah, I'm still giving it a hell yeah. It didn't end like I thought it was going to end, but I'm cool with that. The ending we got. All right. One of the best shows for Disney Plus involving Avengers or anything with Marvel. The best. No, the best. One of the best. The best show. Period. Okay? Somebody do better. Do better or just stop making Marvel shows altogether. Make your decision. Press that like button. Share. You better subscribe.